Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. I'm Alex.
And I'm Van Sam.
Okay, so let me just share something that I think, well, I know is going to hit close to home for so many of you listening, especially if you're, at that B1 level. It's the feeling of just total humiliating brain freeze.
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. The moment when the simplest question comes up.
Exactly. Someone just asks, so what do you usually do on a typical weekday? Or what does your job involve?
Yeah.
And you know the words, wake up, eat, work, scroll, whatever. But the sentences just, they refuse to form. It's like your brain is a computer and the memory chip just, poof, it failed.
Right.
You can talk about big ideas, maybe politics, but describing what you did this morning, it's a disaster.
And it's so frustrating because describing your daily routine is, it's the most basic building block of conversation.
Total.
And it's also the best way to practice really the most critical grammar structure, the simple present tense.
And that is our mission for this deep dive. We've gone through a whole stack of sources, diaries, short stories, lifestyle guides, all detailing the routines of people like, Emily the librarian and Paul the software engineer. And we're going to use their real-life examples to build a toolbox.
A toolbox of sentences.
Yes, a toolbox of sentences and vocabulary, so that when someone asks you about your life, you won't freeze. You'll have the language ready to go.
And this dive into the simple present is so essential because it's all about routines, habits, things that are always true.
Right.
The grammar, it sounds simple, deceptively simple, but it has that one sneaky little challenge that catches everyone at the B1 level.
Oh, I know, because
Yeah, that little sense for he, she in it. We are going to drill that into muscle memory today.
we absolutely need to. But before we get into Paul's chaotic mornings and Emily's super organized evenings, I hear you have a little quiz waiting for us.
I do. We have pulled 4 of the most powerful B1 level vocabulary words from the sources.
Ooh.
These are words that help you describe not just what you do, but how you feel, mentally and physically, at the start and end of a really long day.
Love that.
So yeah, I'm promising a quick pop quiz at the end to make sure you've locked those 4 words into your long-term memory.
Perfect. A little challenge to keep our focus razor sharp. But first, a quick mandatory task for you, our listeners. If you find these deep dives helpful, if they give you more confidence in your English, please make sure you subscribe to the deep dive and hit that like button.
It really does help.
That small action is how we know we're bringing you the content you need.
Thank you for the support. Now, are you ready to jump into the details?
Let's do it. Let's start with what you called the great philosophical struggle of every day, the morning battle.
The morning battle.
Okay, let's unpack this because our sources, they show this amazing contrast. It's like 2 different camps. You have the early bird camp with people like Emily and Aaron, and then you've got the night owl camp with Paul and Evan, and their routines could not be more different.
Absolutely not. The early bird crew, Emily and Aaron, they are almost military in their organization.
Right.
So Emily, she says her alarm goes off at 6 a.m. sharp. Notice that simple present. Her alarm goes off.
Every day?
Every day. She doesn't hesitate. She opens the window right away. She drinks a big glass of water. These are her, non-negotiable actions.
And Aaron, he even described his first 30 minutes. He stretches for 10 minutes, he meditates for 5, and then he makes a very specific kind of green tea. He uses the word calm to describe that tea. It's like he's building a wall of peace before the day can get to him.
It's all about intentional routine. Their simple present sentences are so clean and organized. I wake up, I exercise, I prepare, I drink. They are practicing fluency before they even leave the house.
6 a.m. Wow. I have to say, I think I'm firmly planted in the night owl camp with Paul and Evan.
I had a feeling.
I think I have a full, internal negotiation with my blanket at 6 a.m. about getting an extra hour of sleep.
That is classic night owl behavior. Paul and Evan, they set their alarm for maybe 6:3, 7.0, even 8 a.m. But the key, the defining habit, is they always hit just 5 more minutes.
And as Evan pointed out, that 5 minutes is always a lie. It's never 5.
Never.
It turns into 20, maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's such a dangerous game. And they aren't reaching for water or meditating.
Oh, no.
They need coffee. Immediately. That coffee is described as their best friend, the thing that gives them the illusion of energy.
And think about the verbs they use here. Evan struggles to wake up. Paul searches for his phone under the pillow. He stumbles to the kitchen.
Right.
He doesn't just make coffee, he needs coffee. It's like an urgent necessity. This contrast just beautifully shows how the simple present describes these different habits.
I really related to Evan's whole description of the conversation with the blanket,
Hmm.
where the blanket's saying stay, and he's saying, no, I have to go make coffee. That slow start, the heavy blanket, that is 100% my morning persona.
And that battle, it really highlights the importance of these small routines, which the sources called tiny anchors.
Oh, I like that phrase.
Kate mentioned she tells herself, okay, just sit up first, just sit. And then she makes sure her feet touch the floor. It's a sequence of small victories to stop the chaos.
A tiny anchor. It's like you're setting the boat so you don't just float away into a sea of morning problems.
Exactly.
Another good one was opening of the curtains immediately. That little bit of light or the view of the sky, it feels like an anchor holding you in the new day.
But here's where the mental state comes in, and the sources were all in agreement on this one. The biggest threat to winning the morning battle is the scroll trap.
Oh, the scroll trap is deadly. You just check your phone for the time, and 1 minute later, you're looking at perfect vacation photos of people you barely know.
Mm-hmm.
And you start to feel, restless.
Exactly. And that immediate flood of information emails, social media, news, it can make your mind feel intensely uncomfortable before you've even had a sip of water. The sources use two fantastic words to describe this mental discomfort: overwhelmed and cluttered.
One person said their thoughts were like clothes on the floor. I love that. Or they were dealing with mental laundry.
Mental laundry.
Wait, cluttered, I know that word for a room, like my desk is cluttered, but they used it for the mind. What does that really mean in plain English when we use it for a mental state?
That's a great question, and it's a crucial distinction. So, when a physical space, like a room or a desk, is cluttered, it means it's too full of things, right? It's messy, disorganized.
Can't find anything.
Exactly. You can't find what you need. So when we apply this to the mind, it means you have too many thoughts, too many worries, messages, to-do lists, all fighting for your attention at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Your thoughts are messy, they're not clear. It really is mental laundry. Everything is just piled up everywhere.
I totally get that. It's like having 20 different browser tabs open in your brain at once, and they're all shouting notifications.
Yeah.
It blocks your concentration.
Precisely. If your mind is cluttered, your ability to focus just drains away so quickly. Let's practice that word with 3 examples to really lock it in.
Okay, let's do it.
So a formal example. I cannot dedicate my full attention to this critical financial report because my schedule is so cluttered with back-to-back meetings this week.
So it means too full, disorganized, blocking you from working.
Exactly. Now, a casual one. Sorry, I spent 10 minutes looking for my keys. My kitchen counter is so cluttered right now, I can't find anything.
Simple. Physically messy.
Right. And now for a funny or weird one. After staying up all night reading a really complicated mystery novel, my brain felt too cluttered to remember my own name this morning, let alone my work password.
Huh. I've had that feeling. Too much information, just mentally foggy.
That's it.
That distinction really helps. It's such a useful word. Okay, let's try a quick conversation using cluttered. Let's say we're trying to work together.
I like it. You look stressed. You can start. Ugh. I can't study for this simple present tense practice test. I keep looking at my phone, checking the news, thinking about my grocery list, worrying about some email I have to send. My mind feels completely cluttered.
I understand. You've got way too much mental laundry going on.
I do.
You need to close those mental tabs. Maybe, put your phone in another room. Because when your mind is that cluttered, you're not going to remember the grammar rules. You need quiet space to focus.
You're right. I need a mental reset. The noise is just too much. I think I'll take 5 minutes to write down my worries, just to get them out of my cluttered brain and onto the paper.
That's a classic strategy for decluttering. It actually works.
So if someone wants to use this word today, what are the most common word pairings, the collocations that go with cluttered?
The most common ones are usually cluttered desk, cluttered space, like a room or a garage, and of course the one we've just been discussing, cluttered thoughts or a cluttered mind.
And we also talk about things that are easily cluttered, meaning they get overwhelmed quickly by too much stuff or too much information. It's a really great, strong word to use instead of just messy.
Love it. So moving on to phase 2. Once the mind is hopefully a little less cluttered, the physical prep for the day starts.
And this part of the routine is a goldmine for practicing the simple present tense.
Right, like brushing your teeth and taking a shower.
Yeah.
Aaron called the shower like pressing a restart button. He says the warm water helps him feel clean, fresh, and ready.
And that's a perfect, simple present sequence. I brush my teeth, I take a shower, I dry my hair. Then you move into getting dressed, eating breakfast.
Whether that's Emily's healthy yogurt and fruit or Paul's big breakfast of eggs and toast.
Exactly. And then the final check before leaving the house.
That final check is so important. Wallet, phone, keys, lights off.
Yeah.
Evan, the night owl, he mentioned a really embarrassing story about his keys that forced him to change his routine.
Oh, yeah. He locked himself out of his house once, had to wait 2 hours for a locksmith.
Ugh, the worst.
He said since then, he always double-checks the keys before he leaves. And that simple action, I double-check the keys, becomes part of his daily routine.
And this is exactly where we have to stop and really drill down into the grammar. The power of the simple present isn't about being complex. It's about being consistent.
Right.
You're just combining those simple actions. I get dressed, I pack my lunch, I check the weather, I double-check the keys.
But we have to tackle the S rule here with some real commitment because it is the #1 mistake we see.
For sure. Okay, let's use Paul and Emily as our examples.
Perfect.
I'll give the base verb and you show us the difference.
Okay, let's take the verb work.
Okay.
I work at the library. You work from home. We work hard. They work too many hours. No S.
Simple enough.
But if we talk about Paul, the software engineer, Paul works with code. He works on complicated problems. The computer works slowly today.
The S is there. So if I'm talking about my own routine, I say, I check my emails. But if I'm describing Emily's boss,
You must say. She checks her emails first thing in the morning, or the boss checks the schedule before she assigns tasks. That little S is the difference between sounding like a beginner and sounding confident.
okay, let's try one more common one.
Okay.
The verb go. This one is tricky because you add E's.
Absolutely. So I go to the office, we go to the market, they go to sleep late, no ease.
Right.
But if we talk about Paul, Paul goes to the gym 3 times a week, the bus goes through the city center, she goes to the university every day.
And the sources gave us great examples of these different work lives using this tense. The software engineers said, we spend a lot of time writing code, fixing problems, and collaborating with colleagues.
And that's the beauty of it. Simple sentences say everything. Emily, the librarian, she said, I start work at 9:00 and I read stories to the kids. Notice she says, I read.
But if she talks about her co-worker, David, she has to say.
He reads the announcements at noon. That always comes back. It does. It's like the linguistic fingerprint of the simple present tense for the third person singular. You cannot forget it.
Right. And speaking of leaving the house, we move to the next unavoidable step in the daily routine. The journey to work or study.
Yes. The dreaded or sometimes peaceful commute.
We heard this word commute a few times in the sources, and it sounds a bit formal, like something a newspaper would use. Is it formal? Can I use it casually with a friend?
Oh, absolutely. It's actually a fantastic, really versatile word, and you can definitely use it casually.
Okay.
A commute is just the regular journey from your home to your work or school and back again. The key part is that it's regular. It's not a one-time trip.
I see. So it can be the noun, like my commute is long, or a verb, I commute by bus.
Precisely. And it adds more depth to your story than just saying the trip. Let's just do some examples and a quick scenario to get the feel for it.
Some good.
Okay, formal. The local authorities are investing in new infrastructure to reduce the average worker's daily commute time.
Right. Very official.
It's now casual. My daily commute only takes 15 minutes by bike, so I feel great when I get to the office.
Simple, conversational. I like it.
And funny or weird. I realized my cat, Leo, has a very short commute just from the windowsill to his food bowl. I wish my journey was that easy.
Huh. I want that commute. And the sources, they gave us 3 really different realities for the commute. We had the public transit user, the driver, and the walker.
We did. For the drivers, like Aaron, the commute is often described with words like stressful, it involves traffic jams, or being stuck in congestion.
Right.
Aaron says, I listen to 2 podcasts every morning because I spend an hour just driving.
I really relate to the public transit people, Evan and Kate. Evan's description of the crowded bus was so vivid. He said, I stand shoulder to shoulder with strangers, swaying left and right, half asleep like a zombie.
That's a powerful image.
It is.
And it shows how the environment influences the language you use. His routine is, I wait for the bus, I get on the crowded bus, I listen to music to ignore the crowds. All simple present actions describing a really difficult routine.
But then you have Emily, the librarian. Her walk to work is described as paradise.
Hmm.
She walks for 20 minutes to the library. She says, I breathe the fresh air, I see the neighborhood gardens, and I feel ready for the day.
The contrast is excellent. The length of the commute, the way you travel, the feeling it gives you, it's all part of telling your daily story.
Okay, let's do a quick skit. Two people complaining about their very different commutes.
I like it. I'll be Aaron stuck in his car. You can be the bus rider.
Ready?
Ugh, I just finished my drive. My commute was a total nightmare today. Traffic jams everywhere, and construction blocked the main highway.
Oh, no.
I feel stressed before I even sit down at my desk. I hate that my commute takes so much of my morning.
I get that, but at least you get to sit down. My commute was so crowded this morning, I had to stand the whole time, packed in like a sardine. My backpack pokes people, and the bus stops every 30 seconds. Both our commutes sound exhausting, don't they?
They absolutely do. The word fits perfectly there. So, what are the most useful word pairings for commute that you all should focus on?
Yeah, what are the collocations?
You'll hear daily commute, long commute, or short commute most often. We also say stressful commute a lot when talking about traffic or crowds.
Mm-hmm.
And a more specific professional term is the reverse commute. That's when you travel against the main flow of traffic, like from the city to the suburbs in the morning.
Oh, interesting.
Just remember to use this word to describe the regularity of your journey, whether it's long, short, or crowded.
Got it. Okay, so moving into the midday lunch.
Yeah.
The sources called this the small holiday in the middle of the day.
I love that.
It's the time you press pause on the simple present routine of I work, I write, I code.
And that midday break is so vital for your afternoon energy. We saw different lunch routines. Aaron and Evan talk about eating with colleagues, maybe bringing food from home, a salad or a sandwich, or ordering food together.
And Paul, the night owl who needs his coffee, he uses his lunch to take a short walk outside to refresh his mind.
Mm-hmm.
He says that change of scenery resets his focus for the rest of the workday.
That really helps you switch gears. Then the afternoon routine kicks in. More emails, more tasks, more coding. The sources talked about that final push, solving the last big problem of the day.
And then finally, the workday ends.
Ah, the sweet relief. That moment you close the laptop. It was described as a small victory every day.
Totally.
And that transition is often when you realize just how tired you actually are. That's when the word tired isn't enough. That's when you realize you are drained.
That feeling of relief is quickly followed by the transition home, the second commute.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's tough traffic or a crowded bus, the mission is the same. Get to your comfort zone.
And the first actions when you get home are crucial for unwinding. Ben and Kate mentioned changing into soft home clothes immediately, taking off shoes for barefoot peace.
Oh, barefoot peace. I like that.
Or switching off the harsh overhead lights and turning on a warm lamp to make the room feel cozy.
Cozy is a great word there. It implies physical comfort and warmth, the total opposite of a stressful office or a crowded bus.
And that transition from work stress to home peace is so emotionally important, and it relies on very specific words to describe deep exhaustion.
Okay, so I hear tired all the time from learners.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the real difference between just being tired and being drained? And how does recharge fit in with that?
Excellent question. So tired is normal. It just means you need sleep. But drained is much, much stronger.
Yeah.
Think of a battery that is completely empty at 0%. Drained means you are extremely intensely tired, both physically and mentally. You have very low energy.
Yeah.
You are empty.
So it's a deeper kind of exhaustion, maybe caused by emotional or mental stress, not just from not sleeping.
Exactly. And if you are drained, you have to recharge. To recharge is the action of getting your energy back, like plugging that empty battery back into the wall. It's a purposeful activity to recover your energy. Let's do the looping examples and really focus on the intensity of the word.
Okay.
Formal use of drained. After negotiating the marathon meeting that lasted 6 hours, the CEO looked completely drained and could only issue brief, single-sentence instructions to his staff.
Right. Extreme fatigue.
Now, a casual one using both words. I was so drained after my gym session and the huge presentation at work, I needed 2 hours of quiet music just to recharge my social battery before I could see my friends.
Using both together. I like that.
And a funny one. I know my phone battery needs to recharge overnight, but honestly, I need to recharge more than the phone does after listening to my neighbor's loud party all weekend. I've been there. That really clarifies the intensity. You use drained when tired just isn't strong enough.
Exactly.
Okay, let's do a quick scenario about dealing with a terrible day.
Okay. I'm here to greet you when you get home. Go ahead. Use drained. Oh, thank goodness I'm home. Don't talk to me for 5 minutes. That day was a psychological war. I feel completely drained. I didn't know a person could feel this empty after just staring at a screen for 8 hours.
Well, easy there. You look like you've been running a marathon, not writing
It
reports.
felt like one.
You definitely need to recharge. Forget the day,
Yeah.
get into your cozy clothes, and let's put on a relaxing movie. You need to fill that battery back up.
That sounds like exactly what I need. A slow, immediate recharge is mandatory, or I'm going to be useless tomorrow.
And that's the point.
So what are the most helpful collocations for drained and recharge?
For drained, we often use adverbs to show how you're drained. Emotionally drained, physically drained, or completely drained. And you talk about feeling drained in general. For recharge, we talk about a quick recharge, like a 10-minute walk, or being fully recharged. It's also used for mental things, like recharging your creative energy.
Great. This brings us naturally to phase 4, family, connection, and quiet time.
Yes. Once you feel a little recharged, you can re-engage with the people and things that matter.
And dinner time was highlighted in the sources as more than just food. It's about connection and stabilizing your routine.
Exactly. Emily mentioned she loves dinner because she sits with her husband and kids, they talk, and they share what happened in their day.
And that routine, we sit down, we talk about our problems, we eat dinner together, it anchors the evening.
Kate described it perfectly. She said, it feels like a small celebration, even if it's just simple food. And they talk over each other. You know, it's noisy but helpful because it allows them to reconnect after being in separate worlds all day.
The sources also touched on communicating when your family lives far away.
Right.
Even if it's just a quick 10-minute call in the evening to family in another city, it's really important.
Yes, that simple routine of calling home, that verbal check-in, it provides a crucial element for the evening, a feeling of safety and stability. And the word they used for this was anchor.
This is a great, highly metaphorical word. I know an anchor holds a boat still in the sea so it doesn't move. How can a person, or a phone call, or a routine be an anchor for a person?
Metaphorically, an anchor is something that makes you feel steady, safe, or calm when life feels difficult or unstable. It's the constant, reliable point that prevents you from drifting away in a storm of stress or chaos. So hearing a loved one's voice can immediately bring you back to a place of security. It serves as an emotional anchor.
But why use anchor instead of just support or help? What does anchor add?
That's a great question. Anchor implies a fundamental, stabilizing weight. Support is active help, but an anchor is more like passive stability. It's just there, preventing movement. It suggests a constant, reliable force that never changes.
That distinction helps so much.
Yeah,
Okay, let's focus on some metaphorical examples.
sounds good. A formal one. During periods of rapid economic change, historical traditions often serve as a cultural anchor for the nation's identity.
I see, providing stability over time.
And a casual one. Talking to my best friend for 5 minutes is always my anchor after a really hard day. I know she will always listen and keep me steady.
That's a perfect use, an immediate emotional support.
And a funny one. When I travel, my giant, ancient, but very comfortable pillow is my emotional anchor. It reminds me of home, even though it makes my suitcase look ridiculous.
Huh, a stable, comforting object. I love it. Okay, let's role play a conversation where I need that anchor after a tough, draining week.
Okay, I'm listening. You sound stressed. Tell me what's making you feel unstable.
It's just, this week has been terrible.
Yeah.
Everything is moving so fast. Work deadlines, moving apartments. My mind feels completely cluttered and I've been drained every single night. I feel like I'm floating out to sea and I'm losing perspective.
Okay, slow down. Take a deep breath. Remember, that's why we have our Tuesday coffee routine.
Right.
It's a small but strong anchor. You know that every Tuesday, we stop the chaos for 10 minutes, we talk, and we check in. That routine is there, holding you steady.
You're absolutely right. I forgot about that. That connection, knowing that stable routine is there, it truly feels like an anchor for my whole schedule.
And that's the feeling we're aiming for. So when we talk about collocations for anchor, we use adjectives like emotional anchor or strong anchor.
Okay.
You might talk about finding your anchor when you discover what brings you peace, or even the tiny anchor we mentioned from the morning routine.
Perfect. So after that connection time, the final routine of the day is winding down and quiet reflection.
Yeah.
The simple present wraps up the whole day.
Yes, the do not disturb time. For Emily, it was reading a good book. For Paul, playing his guitar. Others mention listening to music, filling the mind with calming sound instead of worries.
Or just quiet reflection. One person wrote down simple things in a notebook. Today I was tired but proud. Or today was hard but I didn't give up.
A final mental reset, making the mind less cluttered before sleep.
And this final routine is full of the simple present tense again, defining those last habits. I read a book. I put on soft music. I scroll on my phone for 15 minutes, but no more. I sleep around 11:00.
Simple, practical, and powerful. The sources really drive home the point that talking about your day step by step using the simple present is the key to confidence.
It is. Now that we've covered the whole day, the chaos, the commute, the connection, and the quiet, let's move to a segment focusing on the most common error B1 learners make with the simple present.
To do it.
I'll ask the common learner questions. So I hear this constantly. Mistake 1. Can I say, my dog Max play with his ball every morning?
That's the first error, and it is so common. That sentence is missing that crucial little S. Native speakers would immediately silently correct that. We would say, my dog Max plays with his ball.
Okay, mistake 2. What about this? He go to the library every day.
Incorrect again, because the verb go needs that "es" ending when you're talking about the third person singular. You have to say, he goes to the library every day.
Mistake 3. What if I'm talking about a singular non-living thing, like a machine? The machines start at 7 a.m.
Still incorrect. The machine is an is, and it requires the s. So the machine starts at 7 a.m. Remember, third person singular, he, she, it, or a singular noun like Max, the boss, or the machine, always takes that is or s on the verb.
Okay, what about negative sentences? Does the s disappear? For example, Paul do not like his crowded commute.
Ah, great question. In the negative, the is actually moves from the main verb, like, onto the helping verb do. So instead of do not, we use does not.
Oh, okay.
The correct sentence is, Paul does not like his crowded commute.
So the s is still there, it's just hiding in do's? That's tricky.
It is tricky, but the rule is simple. The s only appears once per clause. Since do's already has a sound, the main verb goes back to its base form, like go, play, check.
Okay, let's try one more. Emily's friend Sarah says, Sarah study French every night. Is that right?
Nearly. Because study ends in a y after a consonant, we change the y to I and add is. The correct sentence is, Sarah studies French every night.
Noted. Max plays, Leo eats, Paul goes. Sarah studies. If we just keep practicing that third person's is, we unlock that level of fluency immediately.
It's the key that unlocks confident conversation. It really shows you understand the rhythm of English grammar.
Okay. Which brings us to our final segment.
Time to test your memory on those powerful feeling words we dissected today.
The pop quiz. This is the moment of truth for all of you listening. I hope you're ready to show off your new vocabulary.
I'm sure you are. We're going to test those 4 vocabulary words that really elevate your English beyond just happy or tired. Feel free to shout out the answer before I get to it.
Go for it.
Okay, question 1. If your trip to work is 45 minutes by a crowded train, how do you describe that regular journey you take every day?
That journey is called my commute.
Correct. My commute takes 45 minutes. Okay, question 2. If your mind has too many thoughts, worries, emails, and general mental laundry piled up, how does your mind feel?
That is when your mind feels cluttered.
Spot on. You need to declutter those thoughts, that mental laundry. All right, question 3. What do you call a person, a routine, or a stable thing that keeps you steady, safe, and calm when you're stressed or floating away in chaos?
That person, thing, or routine is an anchor. It holds you steady.
Excellent. The emotional anchor is so critical for stability. Last one, question 4. If you are extremely tired, mentally and physically empty after a long, difficult day, you feel, and you urgently need to.
You feel completely drained and you urgently need to recharge.
Fantastic job. That means we successfully covered the 3 most important language points today.
Let's hear them.
First, mastering the simple present tense for routines, especially that criticals rule. Second, realizing the power of combining simple sentences, I eat, I walk, I check, to tell your full story. And third, the importance of using descriptive words like cluttered, drain, recharge, and anchor to truly share how you feel, not just what you do.
That was a powerful deep dive into the daily story. Now for our micro challenge for everyone listening.
Yes. Your challenge is simple. Use one of those 4 powerful words: cluttered, commute, drained, or anchor in a sentence today.
Okay.
Either spoken or written. You don't have to share it, just think it in your head. For example, I need to call my sister. She is my anchor. Or, ugh, I feel too drained to cook tonight.
A great way to put the words to practice immediately. That immediate application is what makes the knowledge stick.
And if you want more practice with the simple present and all the vocabulary we covered, we have links to resources and guides in the description below.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into daily English. If you like this episode and felt that confidence surge, please again remember to like and subscribe to The Deep Dive.
Your support is our anchor.
And as a final provocative thought for you, even though your daily routine seems boring on the surface, wake up, eat, work, sleep. Notice how sharing it in English forces you to see your life more carefully. Telling your daily story makes you realize you have tiny anchors, you have comfort zones, and small victories you might not have appreciated before. Use the simple present to celebrate your complex life.
Beautifully said.
I'm Alex. See you next time.
And I'm